Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting. So let's get started. We'll start off today with a 1-inch brush and a little bit of yellow and red. And let's come right up here to the top and just begin to throw in a nice little glow. You can add a little more white in there to kind of make the color more pale, and then bring it out, let it blend out. I think we're going to have a mountain right there, and oh, the sun just set right behind the mountain, and it's a pretty nice effect. Now with the filbert brush, we can just scrub in some nice clouds up here. Maybe these clouds, they kind of work around like this. Go right around that nice bright area we just put in. We're going to cover up a lot of this sky with these clouds. Make it a very soft little hazy, either morning or sunset. Either one didn't make too much difference. There, I like that. Leave these nice little light and dark areas. Don't cover the whole thing up solid. That wouldn't look as good. Now with the 2-inch brush, we can very, very lightly just blend all these colors together. You see that? We're just looking to melt these clouds right back into the sky. I don't want to destroy all the variations between light and dark and different colors in here, because they're kind of what makes the cloud look nice. Now with the filbert brush and a little bit of red, yellow, touch of brown and white, let's come right here and just paint in a nice little mountain. Now this mountain is pretty far away, so it's going to be light in value, not too dark. And maybe set that brush down and grab a 1-inch brush, that'll work. And then very lightly just blend this color together. Next we can begin to drop in a larger mountain. And I did take a light color and do a very quick sketch here, just in case if I didn't like it, I could easily blend that color right into the sky. That's the only reason to do it with a nice color that kind of matches first. Kind of a quick little tip that might save you some time later on. All right, then just fill it in with this nice dark color. Next, we can just tap on a little bit of detail here. I have just a little bit of red on the filbert brush. I'm simply giving it a little bit of color, but not much. It really is pretty subtle. A lot of the work has already been done just by leaving some of the more bold brush strokes kind of showing through. Gives us the little indication of detail without really doing anything. So we'll just throw some of this color around, and then the face of the mountain will be pretty much complete. Now I'll load up the filbert brush with a little bit of yellow and green, but it's quite dark. And we can come and just tap right along and get a very, very tiny indication of trees. I don't want it to be so much that this is all we see in the painting. Instead, it's just kind of a suggestion of little things going on back here. That's all. Don't want to overdo it at all. Just a little here and there. Kind of shape your mountain. Now with our little soft hair blender brush, I'll go right through some black and white. And let's start right up here in the clouds and watch this. Just drag it right over the mountain. Wipe the brush, grab some more paint, and then do it again. Right over the mountain, and then back up into the sky. Be so careful. You need a soft brush to do this over the wet paint, otherwise it'll all just mix together and it won't look good at all. You don't want to drag any of this color back up into the sky. Now with the fan brush and some black, blue, touch of green, we can come right here and just begin to tap in a nice little, maybe this is like a little foothill back here. Just a little something that kind of separates the foreground from the background mountain. Again, we can use the filbert brush just to tap on a little bit of a highlight here onto some of these trees. This time I'm using a little bit of orange and red and white. I'm doing that because I want to have some nice autumn time trees in here. Nice fall colors. But maybe there's evergreens mixed in here as well, so we need some green. So throw some of that green color. This kind of helps to to make it a little more interesting, give you some variety. Now with the fan brush loaded up with some black and green, we can begin to work forward here in this painting. Now maybe we want to create some evergreen trees. So for that we just push up, and bend the bristles, and create nice little limb textures there. Let's do a lot of these trees. Maybe we'll just tap them in for now. And then you can add a little detail to them as we go along. There. Pick out the taller ones and drop a little bit of limb texture on them. Now with the filbert brush, we can just drop on a little bit of highlight here. Don't need a whole lot, just enough to kind of show the light hitting the trees. Now I chose to use the filbert brush because it's a little tinier. And if you wanted to use the fan, you could. It's not a big deal, just use the corner. I just thought the filbert might give us a little bit smaller texture today. I think now would be a good time to drop on some nice little highlights to these trees here that are kind of losing their leaves. They're turning colors. So I'm using a nice light orange color on the filbert brush. I'm just dabbing these tiny little strokes here, and they create all the nice limbs. Vary the colors, hit a little more red, a little more yellow, or whatever you want to do. Now with the filbert brush, we can scrub in a little bit of grass down here. The reason I want to use the filbert is because it's far away, and I don't want too much texture back here. We'll tap it in with the big brush when we get closer to the foreground. So you clean up the trees and kind of drag them around. There. Now I've laid out a little stream that I want, so I'm going to avoid painting in that area. Now with the 1-inch brush and a little bit of yellow and green, let's come way back here and just begin tapping. Not much paint. Remember, I don't want to leave a lot of texture here. Just enough to kind of make it look nice. Give it a little bit of sunlight. There. Next, we'll load up the fan brush with a little bit of nice light gray. And with that, we can just underpaint the stream down here, the little river. Maybe it has this nice gray color here at the bottom, but then as we work up, let me stop and let's grab a new brush here. Load it up with a little bit of just some yellow we had laying around on the palette. Let's throw some of that right in there. That's enough. And then allow the colors to work together. Now when you're done with that, you can take the fan brush and just drop in a nice little tiny waterfall right here. Nothing too much, just enough. And then give it a little shimmer on the water here. Now with the 1-inch brush, we can stipple in some nice tall grass here. Maybe it kind of comes all the way up like that and back down a little. I don't know, you kind of just fill it in. Now with the fan brush, we can let's drop in a couple of nice little evergreens back here. Now maybe today, I know, let's go a little higher. Maybe today, these evergreens are kind of backlit, and so some of these leaves are quite light. This is not a very dark color. And then we'll come back and add some nice darker ones over this. Now we can begin to add in some of the darker leaves right over the light ones. And again, the reason I wanted to do it that way is because this tree is backlit and the sun is kind of shining through the back of the tree like that. And that's nice. It kind of gives us a different effect, and I like showing you all sorts of different things. Now maybe right here, we want kind of a different variety of evergreen. More the normal kind where we just push up. I have some of them there in the background as well. And I like mixing it up. Change it. Keep everything kind of nice and have some variety in your painting. Oh, I like that one. These I think will highlight with some yellow and green. Now with the filbert brush, we can just drop in a few rocks here. See, I'm creating the shapes of the rocks, just kind of picking them out of this dark. Some I already have kind of built up, and some don't even exist yet. And remember, your sun is way up there, and it's kind of shining down almost on top of these rocks. So be sure to highlight the top as well as the side there. Now with our fan brush, we can just drop on a few nice little highlights. Now we don't want too many because it would kind of ruin this nice effect of light and dark here. Now with the liner brush, we can add in just a few blades of grass here. Keep these limited to the foreground. Don't want to put them way back there because it wouldn't look right. This helps to bring the viewer closer and it creates depth in the painting and gives us an overall detailed and finished look. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website, my DVDs, and also my brush line. And thanks for watching.